So I've come in the garage to clean up a starter motor that I bought off eBay. They've sent me the wrong one, so I'm started trying to get that resolved with the seller. So there's not a lot I can do with the engine, as you saw in the last video. I've still got to pick up another couple of bits and pieces. So I've got in boxes some nice new shock absorbers. So I'm going to have a look at getting at least one of those fitted to the car today. So maybe a short and sweet video this one, but bear with me, and maybe I'll add some more footage from the next few days. Back to evenings in the garage again. Hiding under the cover, a bit more engine put together. Now then, it may or may not surprise you, but I've done a silly thing. Left my battery charger out in the rain for a couple of days. So I'm going to take it all apart and attempt to dry it up and hope it still works, because I want to use it for something. It was a bit wet in here. I've given it a going over with a heat gun and it's dried up a bit. The display doesn't look so steamed up anymore, so I'm going to leave that overnight before I plug it in and test it. I've dried out the plug too, and we'll see how that behaves tomorrow. What I want to do is I want to try a bit of electrolysis to clean this up properly, and I've got a couple of the little rusty bits and pieces that I want to have a go at, so probably be in this video as well, I would imagine, if the charger works. Otherwise I'll have to buy a new one. Trickle charge. So to start with, things didn't quite go according to plan. My battery charger requires seeing a voltage, a small voltage, to be able to start charging. So I've ended up setting up, found a 12 volt power supply that I've connected up, then hooked up the battery charger. Power supply is very low current, so it was enough to kick things off. And as you can see, things are starting to happen. Bubbles are starting to appear all over, so happy days.
These boys, close it out and hand off. The cones are turned up.
So the timing cover's been in there for about an hour now. You can see the water's turning a pretty nasty colour. I've just pulled it out and had a little look at it, and it's doing very well, pulling the paint off as well, so that's good. Leave it for a bit longer, keep checking it every now and then. So I was just sat down here on my little stool having a look how my electrolysis is going, and it was this almighty noise. I never heard anything like it. I thought the garage was falling down, so I ran outside and there was this massive aeroplane, 4 propellers, making a right noise flying past. So Made some inquiries and found out it was a Lancaster Bomber. Well, not something you see every Saturday when you're busy in the garage working on your car, but I didn't manage to get a picture of it in time, unfortunately. If I'd got a camera to hand I could have got a video of it, but missed it, sadly. I've just fetched the timing cover out and given it a bit of a wash and a brush up, and it's looking really good. It's nearly there, so I've put it back in just for a little bit longer with another piece that I need to clean up as well, so we'll leave that for a bit more and see how it gets on. This poor little fella's met his match. So I've fetched the timing cover out of the bucket. I think you'll agree, compared to what it looked like before, that looks fantastic. So I'm going to dry it off and chuck some paint over it now. A couple other bits I've done today. I've been working on the boot lid. There's still a bit more, I don't know if you can see, a bit of work to do on it. This edge here has turned out quite well. I dropped the boot lid, it was hung up in the sort of up here in the garage when it fell down and kinked along here, so I hammered it as best I could and then I filled it and it's come out really quite well. And I've just had to put a small bit of filler. The boot really wants re-skinning. There was a few rust spots coming through here, and the other side there is quite nasty, so it really does want re-skinning. There was a couple of rusty bits here as well, so I've just for now I've treated it and prepped it. I'll make it a winter project to do that, I think. I started getting this door, you can't see it very well, prepped up. That's getting there slowly, still needs a bit more work. But what I need to do is get the car out of the garage, and I've got space to work on the doors and the boot lid. And I started sanding the front edge of this bonnet down. It's not very good at all, so I may look at getting another bonnet. But I've got a plan to get the compressor and the doors and these bits to somewhere else where I can paint them, so we'll see how that goes. I think that'll do for today. I think I've done enough to make a video out of. I've got a few clips from earlier in the week too, so yeah, things are progressing slowly. I am panicking a little bit about IMM, but it's still the target. I'm still hoping to be there with the car, so thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll see another update very soon.